In the heart of the kingdom of Serenti, a young girl named Amara was known for her boundless curiosity and relentless courage. Unlike the other children of her village who stayed close to home, Amara's eyes always wandered to the horizon, drawn by the promise of adventure. One crisp morning, as the sun peered through the leaves of ancient trees, Amara overheard an elder tell a tale about an enchanted river hidden deep in the forests. This river, according to legend, held the key to the kingdom's lost crown, the symbol of the kingdom's power and unity. The crown had been lost for centuries, and with it, the prosperity of the kingdom faded away. Her heart raced with excitement. If the crown could be found, the kingdom might finally regain its former glory. But there was a catch. The river was cursed, and only someone pure of heart, with wisdom beyond their years, could unlock its secrets. Amara knew that she had to be the one to uncover the truth, and so she decided to journey into the forest that very day. The forest was dense, its shadows deep and mysterious. With every step, the sounds of the village faded away, replaced by the rustling of leaves and the distant call of birds. Amara's senses heightened. She was no longer just exploring. She was on a mission. After what felt like hours of walking, Amara reached a clearing, and there, sparkling like a ribbon of liquid silver, was the enchanted river. It twisted and turned, winding its way through the forest, its surface shimmering with an ethereal glow. The air around it felt different, heavy with magic, yet peaceful. But something was amiss. The river whispered, a voice so soft yet commanding, beckoning her to come closer. Amara knelt by the edge of the river, her reflection staring back at her. "Who dares seek the lost crown?" The voice echoed from the water, soft but firm. "I do," Amara replied, her voice steady with determination. "I seek to restore my kingdom." The river rippled, and the voice spoke again, this time more mysteriously. "To find the crown, you must first prove your worth. Answer me this riddle. What is heavier than gold, but cannot be held in your hands?" Amara furrowed her brow, thinking deeply. The river's riddle was not an ordinary one. It wasn't just about intelligence. It was a test of wisdom. She thought about her people, her family, and the things they held dear. Gold could be held, could be touched, but this riddle asked for something beyond the physical world. "Patience," she finally said, her voice clear. The river seemed to pause, as though considering her answer. Then, the surface of the water calmed, and a soft light glowed from beneath the surface. "Correct," the river whispered. "Patience is indeed heavier than gold. You may proceed." Amara felt a wave of relief, but also an overwhelming sense of wonder. She had passed the first trial, but there were more to come. As the river parted before her, she took her first step forward into the unknown, knowing that she would face even greater challenges ahead. The path ahead of Amara began to twist and turn, and the forest became eerily quiet. The once chirping birds stopped their songs, and the breeze no longer whispered through the trees. A deep stillness enveloped her, and with it came a feeling of unease. Then, suddenly, the air grew cold, and the shadows around her began to stretch, as though alive. The river spoke again, this time with a deep, resonating voice. "To earn the next step toward the crown, you must face your greatest fear. Only by conquering it will you be worthy of the crown's power." Amara's heart raced. Fear. What could it be? She had never been afraid before, not of the dark woods, not of wild beasts, not of anything. But as the shadows moved closer, something inside her stirred. The forest around her began to morph, and in the distance, she saw a dark figure moving toward her. Her legs trembled, and her breath became shallow. The figure grew larger, its outline becoming clearer. It was a ghostly, shadowy version of her own reflection, a twisted image of herself. "What is this?" Amara whispered to the shadows. "This is your fear, child," the voice answered. "This is the darkness that dwells in your heart, the fear of failure." Amara froze for a moment, caught in the grip of doubt. Could she overcome this? She had always feared that she might not be enough, that she might fail in her mission. But deep down, she knew the truth. She was capable. She had the heart and the will to succeed. She stepped forward, standing tall against the shadow. "I will not be afraid of myself," Amara said boldly, "because I know that I can do this. I can succeed." The shadow flickered, then faded away, leaving the path clear before her. The river murmured its approval. "You have faced your fear, child. You are stronger than you realize." Amara's heart swelled with pride. She had passed the second trial, but the journey was far from over. As Amara continued deeper into the forest, she came across a clearing where an old man sat by a fire. His robe was tattered, his face lined with age, and his eyes shone with wisdom. He didn't speak at first, but as Amara approached, he nodded toward her. "You seek the crown?" he asked, his voice soft yet full of authority. "I do," Amara replied, "but I do not understand the true meaning of leadership. What makes a person worthy of wearing the crown?" The elder smiled. "Ah, the crown is not simply a symbol of power. It is a responsibility, a duty to the people. To lead is to serve. To serve is to understand the needs of others. Do you understand this, child?" Amara paused, thinking deeply. I think I do," she said slowly. "But how do I lead with kindness, with understanding?" The elder placed a hand on her shoulder. "You lead not by commanding others, but by walking beside them, sharing their burdens, and lifting them up. You will know you are a true leader when those around you feel seen, heard, and respected." Amara nodded, absorbing the elder's wisdom. "Thank you." "Go now, child," the elder said. "The next trial awaits." Amara continued on her journey, her heart filled with new wisdom. As Amara ventured deeper into the forest, the path grew more difficult, the trees thicker, and the shadows darker. The river was now barely visible in the distance, its presence only known by the faint hum in the air. Finally, she reached a small clearing where the river flowed in a wide arc, glittering with light. The voice of the river returned. "To earn the crown, you must answer this final question. What is the greatest treasure in the world that cannot be bought or sold?" Amara pondered the question. She had learned so much, but she had also come to realize that the true value of something was not always in its material worth. The kingdom had been in turmoil for so long, and the people had suffered. They did not need a crown of gold. They needed something else. The greatest treasure is love and unity, Amara said at last, her voice steady. It cannot be bought or sold. It must be earned through care and understanding. The river shimmered and parted before her, revealing not a golden crown, but a simple glowing stone. It pulsed with energy, a symbol of all that she had learned on her journey. Amara held the stone in her hands, knowing that this was the true crown, a crown of wisdom, compassion, and unity. Amara returned to her kingdom with the stone in her hands. The people gathered to see her return, their faces filled with hope and uncertainty. She stepped forward and spoke to them with the wisdom she had gained on her journey. "The crown is not gold," she said, "but the unity we share. It is not power, but compassion. Together, we can rebuild our kingdom not with force, but with understanding." The people embraced her words, and slowly, the kingdom began to heal. The people worked together, rebuilding the land and restoring peace. And though the golden crown remained lost to time, the true treasure, the wisdom to lead with kindness, and the unity to heal a fractured kingdom, was more valuable than anything gold could buy.